Hi, my name is Stephen Long, and I host a show here on Rock Candy called Sacred Tension. It's about the spiritual discipline of asking questions. If you find yourself uncomfortable in your faith, if you find yourself caught between modern science and ancient religion, or if you're curious about the journeys of others who are sorting out faith and doubt, Sacred Tension is a place where nothing is off limits. You will find conversations with pastors, cult experts, spiritual leaders, and skeptics, all discussing the ways we navigate the faiths we were given. Find Sacred Tension right here on Rock Candy and wherever you listen to podcasts.
Welcome to the Eleventy Life podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Matt here. Welcome to this week's Eleventy Life. And if you are new to the show, welcome to the Eleventy family. We're just as dysfunctional as your real family is, so you're going to feel right at home. Hey, this is a big weekend for us because right now, literally as this episode is coming out, we have a brand new EP that just hit Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, everywhere that you order music or listen to music or subscribe and stream. It is available there. We are super proud of this record. It is all of the Eleventy glitter and goodness that we could possibly pack into an EP. So there's going to be some really, really fun stuff on this release. Remixes of other songs. There's a brand new version of Appalachian Wine that a lot of you guys have already heard. And we even have a whole Eleventy track called Prosperica that didn't make it onto the Rad Science record. And we went ahead and finished it up and tracked it. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorites off of this EP. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. So as always, please check the show notes because we're going to put links to everywhere that you can find this EP right there in the show notes. All you got to do is click on it and make it happen for yourself. If you like, love, loathe what you hear on this podcast on Eleventy Life, you can keep it hurling through the universe by simply following our band on Spotify, clicking the subscribe button for this podcast. They are small, tiny acts of altruism and curiosity, but they add up. Believe me, they do. So a huge thank you in advance to Eleventy friends and family who make our music a part of your lives. We are so honored and excited to be crawling around in your ears. That's weird. That's creepy. Anyway, a quick reminder that the deadline for the eleventyseven karaoke competition is quickly careening towards an end. So if you have not submitted your video yet for the karaoke competition, go ahead and be thinking about that, finishing up those edits. We cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. We have posted a picture on our Instagram on instagram.com/eleventysevenisalive of the actual trophy that one lucky person will be taking home for their video submission in this karaoke competition, and we cannot wait to put that in the mail for some completely deserving weirdo who made a video submission for this competition. Hey, guess what? On this week's episode, I get to sit down with my friend Kelly Orr, who started a band back in the 2009s, 10s called Teen Hearts. That band transitioned from being a musical entity into being a clothing line. In addition to that, Kelly is also an amazing tattoo artist, and I love any excuse that I have to be able to talk with him, catch up, and hang out. He has a really, really interesting story of his journey into and out of the music business and just in life, his life in general. And I was very happy to be able to sit down and catch up with him this week via FaceTime. And in typical Eleventy fashion, we talk about music and fun and goofy shit, and then move on and talk about some pretty tough and deep things, just about life and love and purpose and why are we here and where love comes from and all of those fun things that are just rolling around in the back of everybody's head, but we just don't nearly take enough time to sit and talk about them with each other. So without further ado, by the miracles of modern technology, I'm going to play for you the conversation that I had with Kelly from my home here in Western North Carolina all the way with him in Los Angeles. And that still kind of blows my mind. We can do things like that and be connected in that way. Anyway, I love y'all, and I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. And here we go with it. There he is.
There he is.
Hey, dude.
How's it going, pal?
Oh man, it's going so great.
Good. You got everything together over there? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right? What is fucking amateur hour over here? It seems like every single time that we have to do like a remote session with somebody, there's like a brand new quirk or something that will come up. And it's like the kind of quirk that doesn't come up when you're like tracking or making a record or so, you know what I mean? It's like some sort of weird internet thing that'll happen.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, you can think what you want about me. I'll live through it.
I already think what I want to think about you.
Oh, I'm so lucky. Dude, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Oh, man. You name it, man. Let's see. I had a fucking kid. You knew that. You knew that, right?
You had a fucking kid.
I did. Who gave me a kid? But yeah, dude. I
don't know. The sperm gods?
The sperm gods. I've been, since I've seen you, I don't think I was married, right?
To charity?
To charity, yeah.
Okay.
So married.
I was getting prepared to cut that out if it was somebody different. I'm just kidding.
No. Yeah, no. Married to charity. We have a daughter, Mabel.
Yeah.
And she rules. She's the bomb, as Goldfinger would say. Right.
Old Feldfinger.
Yeah, dude. We just went to go see Goldfinger, and we got a photo with John Feldman kissing Mabel's head.
Oh my gosh. Destined for greatness, that one is now.
Absolutely. I asked him, I said, dude, be honest with me. How many people have you met? They're like, hey, I named my fucking daughter Mabel. And he goes, honestly, you're the second one. And I'm like, that's pretty good. You know, that's pretty good. I was expecting, like 100, but it wasn't 100. So
yeah, that's nuts, dude. Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just wanted to let you know, the only thing I'll be talking about in this interview is SoundCloud rapping and face tattoos. So I hope that's cool with you.
I mean, that seems to be the thing that's sort of like popping up all over the internet now. Is like, I had a hard time because I'm like, you and I are like in our 30s now, probably. So it's like I knew SoundCloud was a thing like when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And that there were rappers on there. How is this just becoming like a new thing, like cloud rap?
Dude, it's so offensive. It's so aggressive.
Is it really?
I was joking about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, LA is the Mecca. It's obnoxious. It's sad, to be honest. But anyways, it's a whole new wave. Like when let's say Newfound Glory or Reliant K or any of these bands like paid their dues, and then electronic stuff that are just like, yeah, I have a fucking computer, and they're like, dude, like you don't know anything. It's essentially like that, but for like rapping and it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's essentially like a manager is going, you're a good looking kid. You have face tattoos. Like, I think you could be somebody, and then they let them drive their cars and live in their house and say, hey, he's rich and whatever. Anyways, I was just joking. I don't want to talk about that shit.
It sounds like you were about to go to some dark places.
No, I actually tattoo a lot of them and know the scene very well, but it's just so embarrassing. Anyways,
I was looking through some of your tat portfolio a couple days ago whenever we were talking about doing this episode together, and I was like, dude, you are so amazingly talented. And I know that you don't take this sort of stuff well, because you're humble as hell about it too. That's also a thing. But yeah, you're such an incredible artist. I loved it. And I'm not a huge like tattoo guy. Like everybody in my band always was. And like I spent a lot of time in tattoo shops, like with other people getting them. But I could like never quite zero in on the thing I was ready to commit to. It's more of I have a commitment issue. It's maybe because there's been some really rad tattoos that I thought maybe I would like to have. But I always feel like whenever we've talked in the past, you've always had like an interesting perspective on things that I wouldn't normally land at. And I've always liked that. Tell me how you got started doing the whole tattoo thing.
You know what? It's an odd story, but you know where I started, graphic design and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've been drawing and crap forever. And I was getting tattooed by this guy, and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, have you ever tried tattooing?" Like, I mean, I was fully covered at this point, but he's like, "Have you ever tried, tattooing? You're obviously artistically inclined in some way." And I had a friend who bought me a tattoo machine for my birthday, and it was like a pile of shit. Like, I'm talking what these people do is they'll sell tattoo equipment online.
Right.
And it's super like looked down upon. Like, don't sell anything to amateurs or anything like that. So, but you can go on like Amazon and buy a tattoo machine. So a friend bought me a pile, and I started just doing like stupid like skate logos and like a few quote unquote traditional pieces. Just on
Friends or
just on Friends. Yeah. Okay. Dude, it is absolutely crazy. If you get a tattoo machine, just get a tattoo machine. I guarantee you 10 of your friends would be like, "Matt, fucking tattoo me." like people are so trusting. It's shocking. But anyways, but yeah, so he got me a machine, and I was just doing like a few skate logos, few traditional pieces. And when this guy asked me, like, "Have you ever tried tattooing?" I said yes, but like the tattoo industry is pretty weird about like, they're called scratchers. Scratchers are like people that are like tattooing out of their living room. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when I said yes, I was like, man, I may have made a mistake. Like, this guy's in the middle of tattooing me right now. This could be bad. But he's like, "Oh, that's cool, man. Like, let me see something that you've done." So I showed him this like little rose, and he thought I was lying. He goes, "You didn't do that. Like, there's no way you did that." And I said, I'm like, "Yeah, I did. Like, why would I lie about that?" So he told me, he said, "Tattoo me right now." And I said, "Okay." He literally thought I was lying and that I was going to like back out of tattooing him, just be like, "Oh, sorry, I was lying. I didn't really do it."
But you leaned in.
I leaned in and I tattooed him, and he's like, "Dude, this tattooing is not easy. And if you have this like natural ability for it, you really should."
Wow.
Just do it. So I did it, and I got a cool little following, and people like my stuff. And yeah, it's like traditional with a twist or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Traditional elements, but yeah, man, I was pushed into it by somebody, and to be honest, that person and I are not close anymore. I think it was like the classic case of like, your friends want to see you do well, but maybe never too well. I don't know. So
yeah.
But, yeah. Anyways,
that's always so icky. It's so weird that there's like there's these people that you find yourselves like creatively in the trenches with throughout your career, and then something good happens for one of you, and then it's like that's literally all it took. All it took was one person just kind of being a few paces ahead, and now like the bond is broken. It's like,
dude, I mean, I'm not trying to like have pity on me or anything like that, but I have dealt with this in my entire career. Like,
yeah,
I mean, as far as like graphic design goes, like just a quick one is like, I started designing stuff for bands, as you know, like every band under the sun, from fucking Justin Bieber to Metallica and everybody in between, you know? And when I started designing for like Hot Topic, like at one point I legitimately had the entire wall of t-shirts at Hot Topic.
Yeah.
It was like, if a new band came along or whatever, they'd say, "Hey, contact Kelly. Like, he does a really good job, and he knows our aesthetic." So when I started doing that, the graphic design world was like, "Fuck this guy. Like, he's gone like mainstream and like, he's just like, he's just in it for the money." And I'm like, dude, like, sorry that an opportunity came along. But I mean, it's such a stupid word, but like, haters is real. Like, it's so real. And And it's such a funny thing because there's so many guys that are just like, fuck yeah, man, like I'm in Hot Topic, woo! But like people like do their research on me, and I just stay in my lane, man. Like I keep quiet, I design, I do my work, and I just shut up. And people still just find a way to.
Wow. I
don't know, but yeah, it's a frustrating world.
I'm ready for that T to come out. Haters is real.
Haters is real.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. So have you like transitioned out of doing primarily Teen Heart stuff into still doing like graphic design stuff for a Hot Topic and their sort of branding, or what does that business situation look like for you now?
Yeah, so Teen Hearts is like a full-on clothing brand now.
Yeah.
You know, it started as music, and that's where I kind of like got the start from it. We got a cool little fan base, and
you like transitioned from band to brand, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, so I'm not really designing anymore for bands or anything like that. I did a lot of stuff for like Paramore and All Time Low.
Yeah.
So bands like that, I'll like still help out from, and like Pierce the Veil and stuff like that. But I had done, I guess, had created their like style, you know, so it was hard for me to just be like, hey, I'm not designing anymore. So I transitioned like slowly with some bands, but then other bands, it was just like a cold turkey. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't have time for this. The brand was taking up way too much time. And, it's turned into something really cool. And, you know, some kids know that it came from music, and some kids have no idea, not that I'm anybody, but kids have no idea who I am or where it came from. It's just a standalone brand, which is what I wanted. And I never wanted to be famous. I was always just kind of like, I'll just sit back here and be quiet.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So how hands-on are you with because that's like an entire clothing line. And I see you guys' stuff pop up on my Instagram feed all the time, and it always looks so different than a lot of the other stuff that this is kind of like me talking to a group of like astrophysicists where I'm going to sound completely ignorant, like one way or the other. But I feel like you're a safe person to be stupid with. So are you handling all of the design, like are you handling it from like a very micro level, or do you have other guys that are working for you and you're just sort of like handling the aesthetics part of it, or?
Yeah, it started out with just me. I have one other partner, and he's a great guy, and he kind of, a friend of his and mine put us in contact together and just said he's a good business guy. And from there it was just him handling money and him handling other things, and then me just being creative. And then it got to the point where, you know, we have a decent amount of employees now, and there's people. The cool thing about our brand is it's all on demand. So it's run with like no inventory.
Right.
So it's a cool model. It's a really cool model to have. So we have employees in the UK. We have employees in Canada. We have employees in the States. But yeah, just other designers. People will submit stuff, and it's a sticky situation, you know, trying to accept design from people, you know, essentially like unsolicited materials and stuff. But it's cool, and there's people running our email campaigns and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot just me.
That's great, dude. What's your favorite part about what you're doing now?
Honestly, I told myself that I would never, ever again eat shit from somebody. And essentially that means working under someone.
Right.
And I'm essentially my own boss now. Yeah. I come and go as I please. I design when I want to. I tattoo when I want to. And I can't do it anymore. Like, you know, I've I mean, somewhat of my past.
Yeah.
I've worked at record labels. I've worked for individual bands on a freelance level. I've worked at, Young and Reckless, which is, the huge, massive clothing brand. And not that anything there was bad, but it was just like, change that to purple. Do this way. I don't like that font. Change it. And you know what I mean? Not that that's like really eating shit, but it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to do what I want to do, I guess. And I'm at a cool point right now with my baby girl and my wife where I can, be a good dad and be around 24/7, so
I think that some people look at that and I think you have different people that would look at that scenario and say, well, maybe Kelly has a problem with authority, or maybe Kelly is, I don't know, maybe he just has authority issues and he just doesn't like to take direction from people or feels like a know-it-all.
Sure.
I feel like from what I know of you,
mm-hmm.
I feel like it's an important distinction to make that when I hear you describe those kinds of things, to me, I hear somebody who has a vision for something. It's not that you're like, you know what I mean? It's not that you're arrogant about what you're doing. It's that you're confident in a vision that you have for what it could be. And you have actually it's not like you stuck around at those companies and just continued to like fuck their shit up. You know what I mean? And be hard to work with. You know what I mean? Like you did your own thing and started your own thing to fulfill that and then put in the man hours and the work ethic and everything to do it.
Exactly.
So
no, exactly. Thank you for making me not sound like an asshole.
I don't do that well for most people.
Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's just tough. For me, it's tough to say I have to wake up at 7:00.
Yeah.
Drive to LA, be there by 8:30. Because I live in Orange County. It's a hike. And I did it for years. Like I did it for years. Like ton of time in the car and driving. And I just got to that point where I said, I've learned a lot from these companies and I value everything that I've learned from them. Where some people like the stability. Here's a perfect example. Like people love the stability of a paycheck. Where I don't. I never cared. The fucking government takes all your money. Right. So it's like for me, I'm like, it was so much rewarding coming home and being like, okay, I have no paycheck. I am going to grind and put all of this together. And now I'm at a cool point, where it's like it paid off and I'm able to, do my own thing. And to me, the paycheck, people say that to me all the time. They're just like, oh, I'm just like so much happier just going somewhere, working my job, getting a paycheck and going home and not having any responsibilities. And that's totally fine. But that was just never me. Never, ever was me.
That's so weird because I feel like there's, we've had people on this show before who have been like expressed exactly that sentiment and they love it. They love being able to just like wake up, have their coffee, go do their thing, maybe bro down after work, have a couple beers, go home, read their kids a bedtime story, and just like, and that's what their life looks like. And the weird thing is, I think that some people really do love it. They excel in that area. They love having that structure. I'm the kind of person where I feel like I'm always trying to fabricate more structure for myself and for my life.
Right.
But this seems so terrifying thinking about spending my life putting money in other people's pockets or help it. Like, like things that I don't believe in. Like, I don't believe in most companies, not to say they're doing anything wrong or bad. It's like I believe in what I'm doing, what I want to do, and I'll do my best work.
That is fair.
Yeah.
That's essentially some of the things I'm talking about. It was just like I went against like some of my morals, like seeing, I'm not going to talk about anybody specific, but like seeing bands get destroyed, destroyed. Like these kids, like, you were at that point, to be honest, like when I was in bands, when I I always had a job when I was in a band, right? And my job was graphic design, which was very different than other people's, where if you work at fucking Taco Bell, you have to say, hey, I'm leaving. Hey, I'm going on tour. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Right.
Where mine, I was always able to do it on the road and be, work for the companies and just say, hey, when I'm done playing shows, I'll go and design this t-shirt or design this, website graphic or whatever, and send it to the companies. And a lot of people didn't have the luxury of that. So I don't know. It was just like this weird point where I saw a lot of bands that took this leap into, I'm going to quit my job. My parents are pissed that I'm not going to college. I'm going to put my life into this. And I'm watching these record labels be like, oh, here's a van. Oh, here's $25,000 bonus. And these kids, not adults, kids are going stoked. Woo!
Yep.
I made it, and they didn't make it. And a lot of them are eating shit right now. And bitter about what happened to them in the music industry. It is a cutthroat industry, man, and they will screw you any time they can. And I saw it happen a lot.
That's a recurring theme. Tell me about your best and worst memories of of working with Drive-Thru and in that whole era of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I loved everybody at Drive-Thru.
Yeah.
They were. It was my first job ever.
Yeah.
I was in high school. I'm sorry. I was in college. I was about to graduate, and one of the credits that I had to do was an internship. So I hit up Drive-Thru and I said, I need to do this internship. I sent them a few little portfolio things that I had. And they're like, yeah, sweet. We'll do it for you. No problem. And while I was still in school, almost graduating, they said, you're good, and we would love to hire you.
Yeah.
And I was like an intern for a week, maybe.
Yeah.
And then they said, I'll hire you. So my experience with Drive-Thru was amazing. I love every single person at Drive-Thru Records. They're not necessarily who I'm talking about with just screwing people over.
Oh yeah. But that happens that happens in the best and worst jobs. You run into people, and
it does. Yeah. I mean, Drive-Thru was a weird situation where when I was at Drive-Thru, it was Newfound Glory was on their way out.
Yeah.
Starting Line was on their way out. Finch was on their way out. And I was there for the Movie Life, Hello Goodbye.
Yeah.
And then everybody below them, Socratic, Genoa, just bands that I love all of them, but bands that shouldn't have been signed. I feel like the owner went on a signing spree.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know the reason actually. Hello Goodbye was murdering. Hello Goodbye was their one, and it kept them afloat for a while from what it seemed. I don't know everything behind the scenes, but it seemed like when I was there, Hello Goodbye kept them afloat for a really long time, and they signed a few bands. I feel like they should have focused more on Hello Goodbye and maybe not signed so many bands, because I think at the end of the day, it kind of sunk them. Because instead of having one band that's killing it and making a decent amount off of them, and putting your focus into them, they just signed too much. So, and then you have all these bands under your wing that you need to take care of, and it didn't make sense to me. But I was just the graphic designer,
Yeah.
So what would I know?
So what kind of stuff did they have you doing? Just tour announcements, online stuff, ads,
they created a website for all of their bands that they had. And those bands were, it was on something called West Aspen merch.
Okay.
So West Aspen merch was every band that they had at the time. I think that there was a few Newfound Glory things, but the majority of it was Hello Goodbye, and a few random things. I think they even had like Sick Animation. Do you remember Sick Animation?
No.
No, it's totally fine. It was like this. He's amazing, by the way. Mark, he's a genius.
Okay.
Sick Animation. You will laugh your ass off at this kid's cartoons.
I'm writing this down so I don't miss out on it.
Please do. He actually designed a lot of stuff for the Drive-Thru DVDs, like back in the day. All the intro stuff. But anyways, but yeah, they designed or created West Aspen merch, and I was the designer for all of those bands that were on West Aspen. I also did like e-cards when e-cards were popular. Like, new I Can Make a Mess Like Nobody's Business album or whatever. Hello Goodbye. I'm just trying to remember who they had at the time. But I mean, it was even the time when I Am the Avalanche came, the movie life changed, and it was I Am the Avalanche and stuff. But yeah, that stuff. Online, clothing, t-shirts, you name it. I was actually one of the last employees at Drive-Thru Records.
Not many people can say that.
Right. Sad. Yeah. It was sad. I mean, that was our like teens, man. It was like Drive-Thru Record. There was nothing bigger. There was nothing bigger than Drive-Thru Records.
No, it's true. To me, they were there right alongside. Like the tooth and nail stuff that we were into. Because that was all happening. Because those guys were in Drive-Thru's in California, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're from New Jersey, but their offices, were they stationed in California.
I find this interesting because it's like one of the very first jobs that you get given is still the thing that you're doing to this day. Like you wake up and you're kind of doing something. I mean, I would assume like it had maybe the workflow has changed or maybe the approach has changed, but there's something so fun about that. Cause I feel like there's so many, especially when I like did this stint as a college professor, or like all of these kids are constantly stressing the hell out because they're like, what am I supposed to do with my life? What is my purpose? Where is my meaning? Like, what am I supposed to believe about all these things? And what if I don't get to do the thing that like I feel the most fulfilled by? And what does it even mean to feel fulfilled? And before you know it, it's a mind fuck, and you're not doing anything. You're just completely paralyzed. Paralysis of analysis.
It's absolutely like let's see. There's so many kids that have no idea. Like my wife, for instance, she went to culinary school. She went to makeup school. Yeah. She did none of those things. And she was working at a clothing store, and she turned into like a visual merchandiser where someone was like someone was gone for the day. And they're like, hey, do you think you can like dress these mannequins or whatever? And then she went really far with that. She worked at Diesel. She worked at Prada. She worked at Zara as like this head of this thing that she had no idea what about. And she's just like, yeah, I can probably do that. Same thing with me and tattooing. I had been tattooed for years. Yeah. 5, 6, 7 years. And not one time was I like, you know what? I think I could be a tattooer. It just falls into your lap sometimes.
Happens by living life. That's so funny. Is Charity ever... did she ever give you shit about your designs? Like, do you show her stuff that you're working on, or are you afraid to show her stuff because you'll know if you see her face what she thinks about it?
Nah, she lets me do what I want. I mean, there's certain things like that are a little bit okay. So for Teen Hearts, we sell anybody listening to this. I'm sorry, but we sell to an angsty teenage asshole that wants to offend people, right? That wants to push the limits, just like me. I mean, that's what I was. You know, that's me. You know, like, haha, I have a middle finger on the back of my shirt. Like, haha, you know, just like, that's the kid. And that's why I started Teen Hearts. It's like, I wasn't a teen when I started Teen Hearts, but I was a teen at heart. And I still am, man. And I'm in my 30s. And well, 30, and I'm like 39. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's who I've always been. Like, I have fucking green hair and tattoos all over me, and I haven't grown up, man. I haven't grown up, and I don't think I ever will.
I think that's fun because I feel like I don't know. It's an interesting thing to put those sorts of things into perspective. Wearing clothing is sort of like the most sterilized rebellion that you could ever have.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of like a safe way of being loud, like a safe way of being a dick, a safe way of letting out emotion. Yeah, I think that's kind of fun. And it's actually, and you have caused me to think about those kinds of things because I mean, I clearly put almost zero thought into what I put on in the morning because I just don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I know for some people, it's like, maybe that is the only thing. Like, there's some people that only have a few things in their life they can control. Yeah. And you probably thought far more about the psychology behind this than I have, but it's like, you can control the clothes that you put on, like most of the time. So why not let them be things that you want?
It's what you stand for, you know? It's like, I remember wearing a, Less Than Jake t-shirt to school. And kids are like, what's that? And I'm like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
You know? And it's like, it does. It really, it's a way of being, it's a perfect analogy, what you said.
What was your high school experience like? Were you kind of an outsider? Were you a border walker? Did you have a group of friends?
I was right in the middle, man. I was right in the middle. I never got picked on, and I would never say that I was the most popular kid in school. I was just right in the middle. I had my friends. We were good. It's the punk rock shitheads that, you know, kind of. But we stay, like I said, just with me in life. I stay away. Like, I'm not going to go like fucking jocks. You know, it's like it just wasn't like that for me. Yeah, it was. I had a good school experience. I really did. I hated school. The actual. There you go. There's the authority thing, right?
Sure.
There's a therapy session.
Right. Yeah.
No, I hated the authority of you need to go home and study. I was the type of person that would go to school, pay attention, and ace my tests. And my teacher's been like, this motherfucker, you know, like he doesn't pay attention, or like he doesn't like care at all. Like, kids are like, I care. I'm the A+ student. I was just like, I'm just gonna listen. I come in, take the tests, and do really well on them. I was I don't know. It was just a weird experience. I hated the aspect of like homework or like studying. I don't think I studied a day in my life.
You are an asshole.
I know.
I feel like there were some things that I didn't have to study for because I just loved it. I always loved literature, English and British lit. I loved that stuff. I was terrible at math.
Oh my God. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I did great in everything, and I think I got a D- every single year of math, and I think it was only because the teacher liked me and was just like, I'm not going to fail this kid.
That's so awesome.
Right?
Okay, let me nosedive the conversation here really quick.
Go for it.
What's something that you really hate about yourself?
I hate that my brain does not stop.
Okay.
I absolutely hate it. I hate it for my wife. I hate it for my daughter. I hate it for my family. However, it's beneficial for all of those people. But for myself, I wish more than anything I could sit back and say, I'm going to Hawaii to lay on the beach. It's not possible for me. It's always what's next. What, as successful as I will be, it'll be like, maybe I could create a donut company, just like something like, it's a not, and my wife is just like, oh my God, like, just focus on what you're doing. And She's right. She's right. But like, if I didn't start tattooing, or if I was just happy doing music, I wouldn't have the Teen Hearts clothing. If I was happy just doing clothing, I wouldn't be a somewhat successful tattooer. It's just I don't know. So that's what I hate about myself.
That's the thing. It's hard to explain to other people. Is like you're literally singing my song right now. Like that, I know that Jessica struggles with this with me like on a daily basis. So I love hearing other people's experiences about it. But it's like the weird thing is all of those weird little eccentricities and rabbit trails that you go down, like. They inform everything else. It's like you're constantly sort of widening your sphere of influence, and they inspire one another. So it's like I'm just sitting here with this one thing. It can become stagnant, even though I have a lot of shit I have to get done. It can feel creatively unfulfilling. So I have to go do this creatively fulfilling thing to relight this fire to keep, you know what I mean? Like to keep yourself going. I don't know if that's your experience at all.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Just feeling like I love creating, I guess. I love creating something from nothing. Yeah. And like a small idea, like it's weird. Like it takes a lot of work and like mind power to create something well, like to do anything well, right? It's not like even people like Justin Bieber that came out, they're just like, oh, who's this kid? It's like, if you do your research on the Biebs, this kid fucking is really talented and like can play guitar and can sing his ass off, and people are just like, oh, he just came from nowhere, and obviously all of a sudden he got signed with Usher. You don't just get signed to Usher by not paying your dues or not working your ass off, right? His parents worked and stuff like that. So for me, creating something from nothing and doing it well is difficult, but it's something that I feel that I am capable of doing multiple things and doing them well, I guess. I don't know.
How do you know when you've done something well?
Yeah, that's a perfect question. I feel like I have goals for myself.
Yeah.
On what well is. I don't think it's judged anyway off of like money, in a weird way. I mean, I think that the normal person would say, okay, you started this clothing brand and are you making $20 million a year? and the answer is, the answer is no, but the answer is, to me, was I wanted the world to wear the clothing. And I know that this is so stupid, but there's a new, did you hear the new Eminem album?
All I know is that like there's some shit going on with him and Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
That's it. I don't know anything other than that. I'm so white and mountainous.
It's a disaster area.
Yeah.
But he has a lyric that says, I was never in it for the trophies. I was just in it for the fucking recognition. And like, honestly, that's where I am. I never did this for money. It was just like fun to see someone at Warped Tour wearing my clothing.
Yeah.
Or listening to my music, or having someone come up to you at a show and saying like, dude, that song got me through some shit in my life.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, honestly, people say, oh, I was just in it for the money. And it's just not true. For me, at least, So I live a very simple life. I do not drive extravagant cars. I do not live in insane mansions or something like that.
Yeah.
And even if I had the money to do that, it's not me. Like, it was never me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's so funny thinking about your clothes on other people, thinking about your songs in other people's ears. I think about this a lot of times too. I wonder if is it a part of you that is like, for some people, I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase this.
Yeah.
For some people, I feel like it's egomania, where it's like, sure, I need to feel imprinted upon the world around me. I need to feel in control of it. I need to feel, this is how I feel safe and how I feel dominant and how I feel authoritative. I've seen that play out really poorly. I also know other people that see those things as like, I like knowing that other people are listening to my songs because it means that they're relating to them, and it makes me not feel so alone. And it makes me feel like, oh, I don't know this person, but I don't have to know this person to already sort of be a part of their life in some way. Even if it's something as ridiculous as like the clothing that they're wearing. It's like, oh, we both had an eye for the same thing. I had an eye for the creation of the thing, and you had an eye for the wearing of the thing. And we have that in common. Like, I don't know. I think there's something kind of magical about that.
Yeah, I fully am on board. I think it's totally I don't know, like the ego thing. I don't know. Like, I don't see myself that way. I mean, people look at me, and I look a certain way, and I feel like the majority of people that would see me, they're just like, oh my God, this kid's like covered like head to toe with tattoos, and he has green hair and piercings, and I know that this sounds weird, but I think it's actually kind of backfired on me, where I got tattoos and I look a certain way because I wanted to actually steer clear of people on an airplane or steer clear of people in a shopping mall. And it's completely backfired.
So your tattoos are basically a manifestation of your introversion. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, 100%. It's that I'm not comfortable in my own skin. It's that I essentially am hiding under this person that people perceive tattoos as like a fucking criminal, So I'm like, I want tattoos so nobody talks to me, but on an airplane, I'll be sitting there keeping to myself, completely quiet, and some lady will be like, who's that on your hand? And I'm like, fuck. Like,
why are you not scared of me?
It's just not that I want people to be scared of me, but I feel like I am socially awkward, and when people come in to get tattooed from me, I absolutely get nervous, like going to play a show, like I'm going to be out on stage, but then when I get out there, I know I'm going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But like I guess what I was getting at is people see me as all these tattoos and they're like, who the fuck is this kid? He for sure wants to be famous or is famous, right?
Or wants attention, wants to be noticed. Attention. Yeah.
And that's, yes. My wife tells me the exact same thing. She says, you're doing the complete opposite. By having green hair, or, I've had red hair, purple hair, blue hair, whatever. It's drawing more people to look at you, which she's completely right. She's 100% right.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like this character almost. It's like Slipknot. I think Slipknot's geniuses, right? They like dress this certain way so they can go out in public and just not have anybody care who they are. And
right.
For me, it was like just, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like hiding behind everything because I don't want to talk to people or something. I don't know.
What are you afraid will happen if you talk to people?
I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like I'm really good at. I am actually very personable, and people enjoy speaking with me. I think.
I'm having a great time now, so that's proof of concept.
Okay, good. But I don't know. I guess I don't know. I just try. I don't know. I guess I don't. I'm afraid of what people have to say. Just about anything. I don't know. I'll think about that and get back to you.
Does it bother you when people have negative things to say or to express about you, or maybe ideas about you that you disagree with?
Yeah, I think that getting back to like, I don't know. I just feel like, trust me, people have gone through a lot more shit in their life than I have.
Yeah, but your shit is, everybody's shit's different. And
Sure.
Everything internally doesn't work the same for everybody.
It's just, to me, it's like, it's frustrating when I work so hard to do something and essentially how I was saying those personal goals
Yeah.
are what say that things are well done that we were talking about. And for me, working at Drive-Thru, I knew what my next step was.
Yeah.
And I feel like where the hatred comes from, or the people that want to bring somebody down in general, not just me. I feel like people want to bring down or hate on people that are maybe one step ahead of them. Like, I don't know. It's almost like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I decide to go to Hot Topic with my designs and see if they like them? Why didn't I mean, dude, like, it all started for me, like, designing band t-shirts and stuff. I would legitimately guess email addresses. Literally. I would say, okay, who's in this band?
Yeah.
What's their website? Yeah. So I remember I contacted this kid, Nick, who played bass in Bayside.
Yeah.
And it was like nick@baysidecult.com. Right. And I just sent off a bunch of emails. I would design all these t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I would say, hey, do you like any of these designs? And people would get back to me.
Yeah.
It was just like, I was always like one step ahead, and I'm never the person that's like, well, damn, I'm doing good work. Why doesn't anybody want my stuff? Yeah. It's like, I'm going to make them want my stuff. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't know. It's just a frustrating world that people don't want to see people be more successful than them. And they'll always try and find something to hate on. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think maybe sometimes people do that subconsciously too. I mean, I think if they were to remove themselves from the weird sort of baggage that everybody carries around with them and like really think about it from the outside, it would probably be like, why? There's no need for this. I'm just need to be happy for this dude. Like, he's doing something cool. He's self-actualizing. He's doing what he set out to do. He's really good at it. He's put in some time. Like, cool.
Or don't. You don't have to. And where I guess what I'm saying, you don't have to. I don't personally, and this may sound like an asshole, but I do not care what other people are doing. I really don't. And it's like,
what other people are doing, or what other people think about what you're doing?
What other people are doing.
Okay.
Like, I can't even remember the last time that I'd be like, what's that one designer's name? I'm going to go look up and see what he's doing. Like, I mean, I guess musically I'll do that, like, from time to time with bands, like, I'll take a listen to that new, Hello Goodbye record, or, if I follow you clearly on all the social media platforms, you put out the new Jelly Rock stuff. So I was like, I'm going to go listen to that. Same with Eleventy stuff. I was like, I need to hear this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Same thing with Eminem. I was just like, I really do like Eminem. People can think I'm stupid or whatever, but
no, he's amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, it was like you have to sometimes do that. But as far as peers, peers for me, I mean, you're a peer, but I would never like be angry. Like, oh my God, Matt wrote a golden record. Fuck Matt. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even, like,
that was the name of the record.
Fuck Matt. I can't even fathom putting the time and mental capacity into being like, this guy, getting on the computer and like, have you seen what he's doing? And people do that to me. Like, people care. Yeah. And it's shocking to me that people care so much. Just live your life and focus on you,
do you feel like you somehow, do you feel like you draw power from that at times?
No, I hate it. I hate it. I mean, the kids that like love Teen Hearts, and I mean, we have kids that are just like, like, what was it? We have a t-shirt right now of Britney Spears shaving her head.
Right.
Which was, for me,
right.
an iconic point in time where I remember that like fucking 9/11. like, and it was based on, for me as a spectator,
right,
as a, what I put on the shirt is fuck everything,
right,
and it was like, fuck everything, fuck fame, fuck money, just everything, right?
Sure.
And we had kids come at us like, she was going through she had mental illness, and I feel for that, I truly do. But for me, that was me never poking at, Britney had a breakdown. it was a badass moment.
Right.
Like shattering some dude's car window with an umbrella. Like, you rule to me. So, so when kids look too deep into things and get angry or offended by things, yeah, that I do care about. But when a fellow person is just like, I don't know any examples right now, but it's just like, just live your own life. And like, I try to tell kids this, like, all the time, just do you.
Yeah.
Like, don't compare yourself to someone else, because you're going to be disappointed every fucking time.
Right. Do you feel like there's a sort of weird oversensitivity that's developed over, I don't know, the last 10 years to certain, like, okay, so for me, for instance, I thought it was a really great example that you gave, the t-shirt with the Britney face. To me, that's somebody taking pop iconography and making it something empowering.
Yeah.
Like, I understand how you could twist that as being like, whoever made this is clearly, like, is not a mental health advocate and is making fun, of someone at their expense. But why? I mean, I think I see that happen so much more frequently, and I know because I'm a cynical asshole. I mean, I am there with the best of them, and I get it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like at some point we just sort of correct each other to death because we just can't be comfortable with things not being interpreted only one way. There's nothing in the world that's only interpreted one way. You know what I mean? Like,
very true. No, it's all up for interpretation. And just like a song, people go like, what was that song about? Because I took it as this. And you're like, well, that is not what I wrote it for, and like, wow, that's a very interesting take on it, but that is just way off,
right?
I just think that, like, man, like, not to go like, I mean, I feel like this interview is just making me feel like like, come off as just like such a angry, like, person.
Kelly, you're just but you're a real person and you get angry about shit, and then it's okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. It's a sad world we live in. I have, like I said in the beginning of the interview, I didn't say how old she was, but I have a 1.5-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And I am so fucking petrified for what she is growing up into. Because I have a cousin, and he is at the point where he's in the millennial stage of, like, and I feel like Jackass, like the Jackass dudes, like, kind of created this business model of, I want to do nothing, and I want to get paid for it. And they are geniuses, the absolute geniuses.
Sure.
That can fuck around and hit each other in the face with 2x4s and be like, I made millions of dollars and I'm driving a Lamborghini, right? And people like my cousin are seeing these kids that are popping up out of nowhere that are driving Ferraris and have all this money.
Yeah.
And it's all fake. It's all fake. I've been around it. Like I said, I've tattooed them.
Yeah.
They are not rolling.
Right.
I promise you.
Yeah.
And the perceived value of these people are so high on people's like not people, but the youth.
Right.
And it's making kids like say, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a SoundCloud rapper, you know? And it's shocking that the world is buying into this. And that's why I think that Eminem's record is so pivotal right now, that he's just like, dude, this is a joke. You're a bunch of clowns. Like, this is a circus. And it's really is a circus right now.
Yeah.
The world is a circus.
Yeah. This just makes me want to go dig into that Eminem record.
Please do.
I will. And I will text you either a thumbs up or a poop emoji.
Yes. You can listen to 3 songs. You can listen to the very first song called The Ringer.
Okay.
You can listen to a song called Kamikaze.
Okay.
And you can listen to a song called Fall.
I'm writing them down.
Those are the 3 songs that are like, shit needs to change. And I'm like fully with, I mean, I'm not in the rap community, but I'm in the world community, and shit needs to change.
In the rap community. For some reason, that just seems like the widest way of describing the rap community. But
it used to be, it used to be you play music and you play guitar or you play piano and you play drums, you join a band, you pay your dues, and you make a name for yourself, hopefully.
Right.
But 2018 has made it a possibility for every dickhead and their brother for people that should never be famous or famous. And it's shocking. Andy Warhol had a quote that said, in the future, everyone will have their 15 minutes of fame. Yeah. And he was absolutely right. These kids have no longevity. There's no longevity to this. Yeah. And anyway, that's my ramble, and I'm sorry for anybody listening.
I love it. This guy's because there's going to be so many. I mean, of course, there's going to be people that disagree with you, or some 16-year-old that's like, "That's my dream, fucker." Yeah. Or but the other thing too is like, there's so much about that I don't get. I feel like I can't imagine how terrified I would be if I was tasked with raising a daughter, and those are the kinds of things that she's seeing. And those are the kind of ideas about what success means and about what fulfillment looks like in life. And it's all so topical. It's just stuff. It's just metal and money. And that's it. And it's like none of it's going to keep you from wanting to kill yourself at some point.
I know it, man. No, it's going to be tough. I have high hopes. World, if you're listening, I have high hopes.
The whole world's tuning into this, Kelly.
I have high hopes that these kids will figure out what really matters in life. You know? It's like happiness and health and,
Well, speaking of what really matters in life, where does love come from?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Love is everything. Love is everything. It's passion, it's heartbreak, it's hurt, it's pain, it's happiness, it's literally everything. To me, at least. I don't know.
It sounds like you're kind of describing like the all-encompassing human experience to some degree.
Yeah.
Is that what does that look like for you? Or you can even describe it in design terms. If you want to, because I would describe it as like a color or a glow or an energy that is in all things, that is sort of through all things, that there is something like even at your saddest and lowest moment of life, like there's something so cathartic about being there and then coming out of it. There's something so cathartic about rounding the bend. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. You have to go through misery to be like, to like love your life and to like appreciate just the things around you. You know, if you're going through life and you're just like, oh, my parents are still married, everything was happy, you know, and when I wanted to, you know, as dumb as it is, like when I wanted to go to a movie or something, like here's $20, you know, it's like everything's perfect for you. You're not going to know what real life is, and you have to go through those ups and downs to be alive. I don't know. It's weird.
Sometimes I wonder if that's why there's so much depression. I mean, when I think about, and I don't mean to be indelicate. I'm going to try to explain what I mean by that. At no point in the course of human history have we had it so good. Like at no other point could I have been born. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have the life that I have, and my problems, my struggles, even the ones that seem insurmountable and the ones that I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? They're still relative. They're not me like scrounging for clean drinking water. You know what I mean? They're not me watching like my family die of AIDS. They're not me escaping a tyrannical government. Well, maybe we're all sort of trying to do that right now. But like, you know what I mean? It's almost like it is different for everybody. I get it. First world problems are still problems. I understand that. But like, I wonder if part of the quality of life that people are seeking and part of the purpose and the meaning and the fulfillment that people are searching for and that they can't find is because literally everything is too linear. Like, because the day-to-day can feel too linear at times. Like, not to discredit all the crazy shit that happens. Divorces and relationships are hard and like all that. I just mean like on a macro level, like this is the kind of stuff that I wonder about. Not that I wish for a harsher world for us to all live in.
No, people wouldn't even know what to do if shit really went down for them. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't know, like all these like people losing their houses in tsunamis and, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I mean, not even we, just I have no idea. You know what I mean? I can't even fathom that. Or like not be, you know, just, it's a.
Or like not being you, like waking up one day and your company's gone, your home is gone, your family is gone.
Yeah.
Who am I without those things?
Yeah.
Who am I without the most important relationships to me? Who am I without like the things that I love the most? Who am I without being able to do the things that I love the most in life? I wonder about that shit. Probably more than I should.
No, it's a crazy world, man.
Yeah. Speaking of things being crazy, I just have one more question for you, and then I'll let you go because I know we've run our time. I don't know if it's super hot for you to be in that car.
No, I've got the AC going, man.
Yes.
I have no problems over here.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a really loaded question, and there's not a right answer.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready. Shit.
Do you think God is real?
Yikes. I feel like, I know my immediate answer.
Yeah.
And I hope, well, no, you know what? I don't hope, because regardless to what I say, I think that people have made their mind up for themselves anyways.
Sure.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And I have a few reasons. I think let's see. How can I say this without sounding like an ignorant fucking moron? Let's see. So for me,
yeah,
religion is based on fear.
Okay.
For me. And I work and I live my life on my own personal like struggles and ways of being successful, right? I have a few friends, not a lot. I have a few friends who absolutely believe, and they're some of my best friends in the entire world. It's a personal thing for me to say, I think prayer as like a whole is like, is like asking for something that's undeserved. And for me, I'll say things like, oh man, I hope this goes well, or oh man, like you can hope for things to go well,
sure,
or things like that. But at the end of the day, I would hate to like put all of my faith into something to be let down. And I've asked a few friends about certain things like dude, when your house burned down, like that was for a reason. And they're like, yeah, I guess. When that girl destroyed your life, that was for a reason. When a baby is born with an arm growing out of its face, that was for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like...
So these are people saying this to you, or this is...
No, this is me. This is me, like...
This is you believing that there's inherent purpose to everything happening?
I think that people... I think that people expect too much of a person that doesn't exist. I'm sorry. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, the Bible is the #1 selling book ever. And it's for a reason. It's based on fear. It's based on, get this book, read this book.
Yeah.
And this is what's right. And there's so many different types of religions, man. I mean, there's so many types.
Yeah.
They can't all be right. Like, they can't. It's not possible. That's like saying, I say that that's blue and you say that that's green. We're not both right. It's one or the other. And I don't think that there's one right answer. I don't.
That's interesting. Did you have...
I just don't.
So have you had... It seems like... So I think the concept of God sort of transcends just what's in the Bible. Was there like a point where did you have some weird experiences with Christians, with like Protestants? No, this is just like you living your life. This is like what you've come to.
So, and people say that this could be the reasons that I don't believe. And what they say is, I was sent to Catholic school, or not Catholic school, but like I've been confirmed.
Sure.
I went through, it was called like CCD,
yep.
Certain things like that at a younger age, not like super young, but like middle school, eighth grade, shit like that. And my parents are not religious, like to the extent of going to church.
But they wanted you confirmed in Catholicism? They
did. My mom was Catholic. Growing up, and we had a friend down the street whose parents were Catholic, and I appreciate my parents sending me for reasons of kids get into fucking trouble, it's like get them into sports, get them into skating, doing something organized. So I think that when my parents' friends that are down the street are very religious, like very, very religious.
Yeah.
So when they sent their kids, I think my mom was kind of like, yeah, you're going to fucking do that too,
Yeah.
And I got sent to it. And very early on, I was like, well, I'm here for the soccer and I'm here for the, I think that the music and singing and shit like that. And I enjoyed those aspects of it. And I think that that's why I didn't like put up a huge fight with my mom and dad to go. But I just at a very early stage in going there, I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Like I'm sorry to anybody that's listening that has like a very strong religious.
No, you don't feel the need to apologize for your view of something. It's because it's your view, it's your experience. It's just like you would be willing to listen to what anybody else's experience is. Yeah.
Hey, if the rapture comes, I'm a fucking believer, okay?
It sounds like a Teen Heart shirt.
Yeah, right. No, but it's just so, it's such a gnarly thing. It's like magic to me. It's like magic's not real. It's like what I love to think that some dude is like making a yacht disappear.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Right.
I'd be like, that's fucking awesome, man. Yeah. Like, I want to hang out with that guy. And that's why like I kind of bring things up with some of my religious friends. I bring things up like ghosts,
yeah,
or aliens, right? So it's like these things. There's things to me that are like showing themselves, obviously, and people can say like, well, what about that tree right there? Who do you think fucking made that tree? I'm like, okay, I understand that, you know what I mean? But like a ghost like knocking something off the table, or the alien spacecraft like flying overhead, you're like, whoa, like that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, if you think of like an alien versus what people are saying God has created as a tree or water or dirt, or you know what I mean?
Okay,
yeah. God fucking wins all day long. but it's so gnarly, man. And anybody that like doesn't say like anybody that can just like lay in bed and be like, yeah, there's a fucking guy up there and he's just like doing shit. I'm like, you need to rethink. You need to rethink a little bit, buddy. You know, but
yeah, I think maybe there's a difference in like, like people aren't looking to magic as a way to help them make sense of their lives. You know what I mean? Like they're looking to magic to be entertained or to re-experience wonder. You know what I mean? Like to see something they can't explain and to sort of like revel in that and like live in that cool little in-between area where you're like, shit, something happened in front of me that I didn't think was possible. And like, it's weird because we've had like tons and tons of conversations with people about this sort of a thing. And it's been a complete spectrum of people that like, some people are super into it and like, it's the most important thing for them ever. Some people are just like, you just kind of hold it here. And sometimes it's cool and sometimes it's not great.
Yeah, so. I mean, I hope I'm not the first devil worshiper on your show. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
but no, it's. I think at the end of the day, to wrap this up in a tight little bow.
Yes, do it.
I feel like, from what I've heard from friends, is that the biggest sin that you can have is saying that, like, you are God. Like, I am God, right? And in no way, shape, or form am I saying that I am God, but I'm saying it in the way of, if something goes wrong in my life, it's my fault. If I don't succeed and get that record deal, it's my fault. I have no, like, how do I say this? Like, I don't want to put that pressure on someone else. Like, why would I want to be angry? Like, let's just say I look to you for everything in my life. I don't want to, like, hate you, you know what I mean? Or be like, why didn't that happen? Like fuck you, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's my fault. When something goes wrong, when my baby falls down the stairs, God didn't fucking push her.
Does it have to be somebody's fault?
No, it doesn't, I guess. But it's just, you know what? When it gets to that point and I pass and I'm watching all of these people go one way and I'm going to hell, I'll be like, fuck, man, bummer, dude. I mean, I don't know.
What do you think happens? What do you think happens whenever you transition?
I'm not going to go there.
No?
No, I don't want to get too morbid. I just don't. Nothing. I think nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Just like completely, you cease to have a wherewithal that you are a thing. Self-awareness.
That's why. Yeah, I mean, sadly, yeah, I do, and I think that like that's why I'm so intrigued by the ghosts and like.
Yeah.
Trying to like, I don't know, to be honest. The answer is I have no idea.
Yes.
If God exists.
Right.
Would I be stoked if he did and everything is just like amazing for these people that believe, yeah, sure, I'd be like bummed and sad that I didn't believe. But at the end of the day, I just focus on myself, and I don't put my life in the hands of someone else that I for sure don't know.
I totally get that. Dude.
I hope this isn't the end of our friendship.
Why would it be the end of our friendship?
I don't know what you believe. I don't know that we've gone that far into like,
we never have, because every time we were ever like with each other, it's like either just, you know, catching up really quick on the phone, or last time, you know, you were in North Carolina, we were working. It was just like maddening pace of work. And like we've never had a chance to just like chill out and talk stuff through. And yeah.
Anybody asked you how you feel?
I talk a lot about how I feel on the podcast. For me, it's kind of it's very much a journey. I mean, you know, like you gave a lot of the reasons for why you think what you think, and then at the end of it, you were like, I don't know, and I could fast forward to that part of the conversation, just right there. I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know. Like I think I'm constantly trying to find new ways to be empathetic of people that really do love religion, that are trying. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out too. Like I have no idea what happens when I'm not here.
That's what I was going to ask you. Essentially, is like, okay, you don't know one way or the other. You believe one way or the other. That's fine. But I guess my question is, the person that just goes, yeah, God's real. What the fuck are you? Why are you even questioning it? God's 100% real. Don't even question it. Do you think that they're being ignorant?
I think my family are kind of like that. I think that, and sometimes I think, I don't know if it's all just ignorance. Sometimes I think it's just fear of not knowing, of not being able to say or to prove or to, you know, there's not a scientific method for religious belief. So it's like, I don't want to discredit those people. I feel like what I'm more interested in is saying there's all, like, just keep asking questions. There's always a new question. There's always a cooler question to ask. There's always like a more fulfilling question that sort of, once you have cataloged, it's all about everybody just going through their own journey. I feel like some people gravitate towards Christianity. Other people gravitate towards other practices. Like, God, at the end of the day, I think we're just trying to figure out the best way to handle our shit and to not kill each other or ourselves.
I just think that it's like, I know that people get offended when this is like kind of brought up, but if you look back in time at our world that we have lived in, right? We have Christmas, we have Halloween, we have all of these stories, if you will. Yeah. And I think that Jesus is the best story that's been created. I do. I really do. I think that dinosaurs existed. I think all of these things. I think all,
Jews were real.
Jews were real. Yes. But yeah, I think it's probably the best story that's been created, and it's hard to, I don't know, like look at pictures like and shit like that. It's like, tell me this: why does Eve have a belly button? She doesn't need a fucking belly button. She does not need a belly button.
I love that. That's part of your reasoning. That sounds like such a graphic designer thing. Like, why would you give the first woman a belly button?
There's no reason.
There's no continuity.
It's just a story, man. But anyways, I don't want to bum too many people out, but it's just, there's a lot. I don't know. I think it's a fucking awesome story, and I fully back the story. I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird one.
You do you, dude.
But I don't know, right? I don't know. I don't know just as much as you don't know.
We don't know a lot, don't we?
We don't know a lot.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, dude, do you have anything new coming up that you want to share? Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to hit on?
No, just if you're ever in California, come get tattooed. And if you are walking around without a t-shirt on, go to teenhearts.com.
Don't try to order anything at a gas station because no shirt, no shoes, no service. I love that, dude. Thank you for spending time with me today, Kelly. I loved catching up with you, dude.
Dude, no problem. Absolutely. The pleasure was mine.
11